How to apply for SSI, Supplemental Security Income in 2022. An overview of the process in this video, so let's get into it right now. But if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video so I can keep you updated every single day with all of the latest details as information is changing very rapidly right now, and so I can talk you through very important topics just like this one we're going to be covering right here in this video. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe down below as it's totally free to do so, and let's get right into the video. Alright, so let me quickly walk you through the process of how to apply for SSI, Supplemental Security Income, in 2022. Now, I'm actually recording this video in early 2022, and because of the current landscape with everything going on right now, it's actually maybe going to be a little bit of a different process for some people. However, as we work our way through the year, if you happen to be watching this in mid-2022 or maybe late 2022, the process may have changed by then. So I may need to make a follow-up video later this year to actually give you the latest details on this, because as of right now, a lot of these Social Security field offices are actually still closed with everything going on, right? However, you may be able to get in by making an appointment and going in, but as of right now, you cannot just walk into the Social Security field offices. However, there is some talk that maybe these will be opening up by the end of March or possibly even early April, but again, as of now, that's a big maybe. So let's walk through the process of everything right now as we currently stand, and then again, I can always make a follow-up video later this year if I just need to do so. All right, so quickly, before we get into the application process, let's quickly talk about who is eligible for SSI, Supplemental Security Income Benefits, because this will give us a better understanding of which application process do we actually need to follow through with. So there's actually 3 separate application processes depending on the age range of the person actually applying for the benefits. Sounds complicated already, right? Well, yeah, it is. If you've ever looked at the application process here, it's actually a very long one, and just like everything, it's a lot of work and there's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of steps. So hopefully I can help alleviate some of that a little bit in this video and make it a little bit more easy to understand. All right, so number 1. Who is actually eligible for SSI benefits? And maybe I might even make a dedicated video talking about this topic simply because this alone is a pretty big topic. All right, so who is eligible for SSI? For those individuals who are aged 65 or older who have limited income and limited resources, or anybody who is younger than the age 65 and they are either blind or disabled, and yes, once again, within the income and resource limits. So, as you can see here, kind of a lot going on. However, even when it comes to those individuals who are minors under the age 18, so kids, children, whatever you want to identify them as, but basically anybody under the age 18 who would be, a minor, they could also be getting SSI benefits provided they are blind and or disabled, and the household in which they live in also falls within the income and resource limits. So again, a lot going on here. So now let's quickly talk about the process of actually applying for these benefits. Here's the best thing you can do. For the first couple categories, they break it down into 3 separate categories. Category number 1 is basically anybody under the age 18. So these would be, kids, children, minors, again, kind of all within the same category. Anybody under the age 18 is going to have a completely separate application process than somebody in these other 2 categories. So here's the best thing we can talk about. Let's run through this category number 1. Under the age 18, you would probably want to go to the Social Security website, ssa.gov. When you look under Supplemental Security Income right there, there's going to be a separate application process for you. You're going to need to fill out some information about the blind or disabled child who would be applying for these benefits. They're going to be asking you to fill out a child report. Basically, with right there, they're going to be gathering all the information about the child, the name, the birth date, the social security number, all of this information, the disability, whether it's blindness or a separate disability, anything like this. They're also going to be wanting to connect with you at some point within a few days after you apply for the or you send in the application, and they're going to be also wanting to see medical records from doctors, things like this, to verify that the disability that the child has would also allow that child to be getting these SSI benefits. So as you can see, it's kind of a lengthy process here. So the best thing I can say to do is, if you have somebody in this category, go to the SSA website, ssa.gov, look under Supplemental Security Income, and look for that application right there, and you can apply right there online if you would like to for your child under the age 18. So there's a basically just a step-by-step process. You can follow it there. Otherwise, you can always call the 1-800 number, 1-800-772-1213, and you can connect with an agent there. But the best way to do this, again, if you have the means and the ability to do this online, I would say that'd probably be a much faster process, because if you actually have to call and connect with somebody on over the 1-800 number, you might be sitting on hold for a couple hours just to talk to somebody, and it's going to be a much slower process. So if you can do it online, it's going to expedite the process significantly. All right, let's quickly talk about the second application and the second kind of like window of age ranges. Now, these are for those people who are aged 18 through 64, and once again, who are either blind or disabled with minimal resources and minimal income. So again, you can also apply online. The best thing I can say to do, go to the Social Security website, ssa.gov, and again, look under Supplemental Security Income, SSI, and you can find your own separate application process there. Again, they're going to be wanting to get a lot of personal information from you: name, birth date, birthplace. They want to see your birth certificate. Again, they want to see the original birth certificate, things like this. They also want to get when you apply, they might actually want to get your banking information again, so that they can direct deposit your money into your bank account. So it'd be your banking information. But again, only look at that on the Social Security website as you go through the application process. But they're going to want to get a lot of information about you, including your resources, how much money you have, as in resources, cash in the bank, things like this. They'll want to know about your income, your work history, all kinds of stuff like this. So there's a lot of information they're going to be gathering from you, and they also want to know, what is the disability, right? They'll want to know, are you blind? Do you have a disability that doesn't really allow you to work very much or at all? They're going to want to gather a lot of information about you. So the best thing to do would be to once again go through to the Social Security website, ssa.gov, and follow that specific application process for you that fall into the category of 18 through 64 right there on the website. And again, if you want to, you can call the 1-800 number, 1-800-772-1213, and you can connect with an agent there, and they can help you out with the application process over the phone. All right, let's quickly talk about this third group. Now again, I know that I'm kind of briefly hitting on all these, but the deal is, if I were to go into detail on all of these, it would be a dedicated, probably 25 or 30-minute video dedicated to each one of these groups. So that's why I'm saying the best thing to do would just be to go to the website and start working your way through the application process. That's honestly the best way to do it. Again, if I needed to, I could always make a dedicated video and walk through step by step every single one of these applications for the separate age categories. That would be its own dedicated video, because it's a very lengthy process. You'll see when you go over to the website and you start going through the application process, it's a very lengthy one. So that's the best thing I can say, but I wanted to hit on this kind of briefly here and just give you an overview of the application process for SSI for these different age categories. All right, so for 65 and older, now here's the deal. If you are aged 65 or older and you have limited income and limited resources, again, you may be eligible for SSI. Of course, I don't know your exact situation, so I can't tell you if you're eligible for it or if you're not. But again, the best thing you can do is, if you have limited income, limited resources, you may just want to apply or check it out anyway, and see if you might be someone who can get that monthly payment of $841 or somewhere thereabouts for SSI. Now again, in 2022, the maximum SSI benefit is $841 per person. So that is the maximum benefit, by the way. You can't get more than that. Unless you're a married couple, then you can get $1,261, and that's the maximum there. So $1,261 as a married couple. All right, but anyway, let's quickly talk about for 65 and older. Now here's the difference here. For this age group, you cannot apply online. Why? Not really sure. You know what I mean? It seems kind of weird, but you cannot apply online according to the Social Security website. However, I would highly advise going to the Social Security website and actually doing some research there, because there's a lot of really good material right there on the Social Security website where you can read about supplemental security income, you can read about the SSI program, and you can get a lot of information there. So even if you can't apply online, I would still say go to their website, do some research, and you can learn a lot about the program and what to expect with this. However, if you want to call the 1-800 number, you can certainly do that and connect with an agent. Otherwise, you may want to connect with your local Social Security office, even though as of right now, as of this recording, they are still closed and only appointment only in order to get in there and talk to somebody. But you may want to do that because the waiting list to get in might be quite a while, right? It might take you a couple weeks to get in to meet with somebody because probably not a whole lot of people are working. And at the same time, there's probably a lot of people that are trying to get in right now, and spacing may be limited. So you might want to call your local office and try to set up an appointment there. But they're talking about possibly opening them up by, again, April, but that could totally change by the time that, April comes around, depending on the landscape and how things are going on out there right now. We'll have to continue watching that. But anyway, the best thing you could do is call your local office and or visit the Social Security website, ssa.gov, or call the 1-800 number, and they should be able to give you more information, and they should be able to help you there with all the information that you'll need for the actual application process. Again, the 1-800 number is 1-800-772-1213. 1-800-772-1213. That is the dedicated Social Security number. I think if you've ever called Social Security, that's probably the number you've called, because that is that's just like the main number that you call if you ever want to talk to Social Security. However, one quick disclaimer is you'll probably sit on hold for who knows how long, an hour, hour and a half, maybe a couple hours in order to talk to somebody. But once you do, it's totally worth it because they'll be able to give you all the information that you need and how to actually start the application process, and they'll be able to walk you through all the steps. However, if you are somebody, let's just say this much, if you're somebody age 65 or older, or you're under the age 65 and you have you're blind, a disability, you have limited resources, you have limited income, you probably want to look into this program because the SSI program was set up way back in the early 70s to help out those people who are blind or disabled or older adults, 65 or older, who have limited income and limited resources, to help them out with a monthly stipend. Like I said, this year in 2022, the maximum amount is $841 that you can get, and you can be deposited right into a bank account. It can be sent onto a Direct Express card, and then you have that money and you can spend it on whatever you need to help you buy with your living expenses right now. So anyway, I know this video is really basic. I know that this video that just kind of brushes the surface of everything going on with this. But again, if you want me to, I can always make a dedicated video for each of these application processes. It's a very long process, but that's okay. We can make it. We can do it. If you want me to, I can certainly do that. We can walk through the process step by step for each of these age groups that I just laid out in this video. Let me know your feedback down below. Otherwise, this should at least give you started as far as the application process and let you know who is eligible for SSI and kind of some of the parameters behind who's eligible and what you can kind of get from this program in 2022. So again, I hope this one helps you out. Make sure to subscribe down below, share this video with your friends, family, social media, and feel free to go back and check out any of the other over 2,000 videos right here on the channel. I'm back every single day with all the latest updates, as I'm truly committed to everybody right here in the community to help you out in any way that I possibly can. It's a tough time out there, and I want to do what I can to help everybody out there. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Subscribe down below, share this video, and go back and check out some of the others, and I'll catch you again later in the next one. I'll see you for now.
Today we are shouting out Nancy Wiggins, John Floyd, Mae Johnson, Alan Vinnis, Anna Owens, Clifford Mariner, and Marietta Jennings. Thank you for being members of the fan club.